Mariah. Way out here they've got a name for wind and rain and fire. The rain is Tess, the fire is Joe, and they call the wind Mariah. Mariah blows the stars around, sends the clouds a-flying. Mariah makes the mountains sound like folks were up there dying. Mariah, Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Before I knew Mariah's name, heard her wails and whine, I had a girl and she had me, and the sun was always shining. And then one day I left my girl, left her far behind me. Now I'm so lost, so doggone lost, not even God can find me. Mariah, Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Out here they've got a name for rain, wind and fire only. But when you're lost and all alone, there ain't no name for lonely. Now I'm a lost and lonely man without a star to guide me. Mariah, blow her love to me, I need her here beside me. Mariah, Mariah, they call the wind Mariah. Cha-cha-cha. All right. You requested Dragon Main Street. Maxine and I wrote a song called Looking Back to Sea, and it was a hit for us. In fact, it got us started in the business, and we wanted something, you know, to follow it up with. So we took one of the things that we were doing most of the time, and living in a small city, you do a lot of drag in Maine. You go from one place to the next, you know, just to see who's at the next drive-in or what's happening. Didn't have any place to park except way out in the country, but we had a lot of country down there. And you know, that's one of the shames of our society, right? All of the big cities are springing up and people are moving everywhere, and it's caused our teenagers an awful lot of problems because they don't have a place to park anymore. You know, well, that's the truth, really. When I was coming up, I had plenty of places. I found them all, too. The only thing about it is whenever you get, you know, take one girl to somebody else's. Wasn't that many girls in town, thank goodness. No, it was great. Our teenagers, they do have a hard time, don't they? I've got one that's now 15 going on 21, and she's having such a hard time because Daddy just don't want to let her do everything that she wants to do. Because I want to go with her and watch. You know. Well, all right, you wanted the Jim Reeves medley. I could tell you the story of my life pretty quick. It was a lot of fun. One of the greatest stylists, I guess I should say, one of the greatest singers to come along in a long time was a great friend of mine by the name of Jim Reeves. Jim took a couple of young kids out of the sticks of Arkansas and showed them around this great old United States for a couple of 3 years, as long as we were on the hayride. And then he went to the Grand Ole Opry, and we went to the Ozark Jubilee, and then I went to the Army, and that stopped us, but he continued on. And this is a little medley, just, you might say, in remembrance of a great man, a great friend. Maybe it'll bring back a memory or two to some of you. And if you know the songs, sing along. Would not mind at all. Out where the bright lights are glowing, you're drawn like a moth to a flame. You laugh while the wine's overflowing, while I sit and whisper your name. Four walls to hear me. Sing it with us, don't you? Four walls to see. Four walls too near me. Closing in on me. That was the first song he ever recorded that sold 1 million copies. Didn't take him long to find another one. In fact, only about 2 years it was. Perhaps you'll remember it also. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you he'll have to go. Let me tell you a little story, if I may. One morning I was sitting in Jim's home at the breakfast table, dining table, I guess you could call it. Mary had fixed breakfast and she'd called him a couple of times, but he was sometimes a little bit slow at getting up and getting about and getting around. But this particular morning he'd been out most of the night, because he'd been in a studio right there close to his home, where he'd been doing a little, what we call a demo session. Some of the songs that he had enjoyed singing, or some of the songs that he liked, or maybe he was working on a new song to record for RCA. Whatever the reason, I never did find out. But when he walked in, he had a little white box under his arm, and he walked in to Mary and he said, "Mary, here's another one of your insurance policies." It turned out that Jim had something over 200 songs in little white boxes like that that he had given to Mary. And all this time you're wondering where all of the songs came from. That's where they came from those little white boxes. It's been a great insurance policy for Mary, and it's kept alive a great talent. Here's one of those songs that was found in one of those boxes. I'm calling to tell you it's over. Yes, darling, you're now free to go. You're saying you're sorry you hurt me, but you've hurt me much more than you know. You're asking me where this call comes from. Oh, I hope that you won't enter here. If your new romance turns out a failure, then here's where to find me, my dear. I'm just on the blue side of lonesome, right next to the Heartbreak Hotel, in a tavern that's known as Three Teardrops, on a bar stool not doing so well. I hear the sound of distant drums far away, so far away. And if they call for me to come, then I must go and you must stay. So marry, marry me, let's not wait. Let's share all the love we can before it's too late. And love me now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me. I hear the sound of bugles blow far away, so far away. And if they call for me to come across the sea, so wild and brave, so marry, marry me, let's not wait. For those distant drums might change our wedding day. Now, for now is all the time there may be. If you love me, marry, marry, marry me.